Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to East Peoria Lady Raider basketball. Morton Potters in town. Morton Potters, number 6 in the AP state poll. They are the Mid-Illini Conference champions this year, as they have been the last now 3 years. So the Raiders on senior night will have their work cut out for them tonight.
Yeah, this is a tall task for the Raiders. It's going to be a very difficult matchup here. You know, we were talking in the pregame about the size that Morton presents, particularly with Sarah Livingston. You know, it's just going to come down to getting some stops, making some shots. The good news is we've got a little momentum here. The girls are rolling on a two-game winning streak after going over to Metamora and winning. And then the last second shot against Pekin on a Tuesday night. And I think the biggest thing in that run has been the balance. No longer are they just relying on you know, Kylie Gablehausen. Now you've got Michaela Reedy stepping up, right. Sarah Cruz stepping up. So that does bode well for tonight, and they have hit some shots from the outside. So I think that's going to be a big key tonight. If we can knock them down from the outside, obviously that keeps you in a lot of ball games.
They pride themselves on that defense. Morton has, they went through a streak of, I want to say, 8 straight games where they held the opposition to under 35 points. Now, we are not in a day and age where we have 70 every night anyway, but nevertheless, they are tremendously solid defensively. The last time these two teams hooked up, it was that first quarter where the Raiders weren't able to really get on the board. Outside of that, East Peoria played with them possession for possession.
And our girls can do that, and I think you'll see that even more next year as they get a year older. You know, there's only 2 seniors on this team. We'll talk more about them at halftime, but I don't think it's beyond the realm tonight for them to pull this one out. Nice job by Kylie Gablehausen there on the wing to get her hands up and deny that entry pass.
Morton, of course, led by Sarah Livingston, a name that you probably see in the paper quite often. Future Lady Illini. 3-ball up good by Chandler Ryan. She is deadly from 3-point range. Had 3 of those in a win against Dunlap just a week ago. East Peoria with their first possession of the basketball game. We're just 45 seconds into this one.
Nice look inside to Montgomery.
Nice go. Knocked
Sarah
away.
Livingston there to swat it back, though.
Potters come away with it the other direction. Another 3-ball
speaking of
blocked.
swat it back. There's Kylie Gablehausen flying off the wing.
2-ball up and long. Reedy a little long on her first shot of the night. Will come out the other direction. Shot up and no good by Abby Cox. And the whistle. Our first foul of the game. Kate Byrne, first foul of the ball game for either team. Here is Reedy. We mentioned her at the beginning here. She has just looked better and better.
She has, and it was really just a matter of time. You know, when you move into a new district and you're just getting to know your teammates, it takes you some time to find a comfort level. Not unlike ourselves, Matt.
That's right. Raiders a little cold to start this one. Again, tough draw for senior night to have the Morton Potters come into town. Talked just very briefly, and you and I have talked about this, but talked briefly to Coach Bowman beforehand, but nobody expected Illinois to play with the #1 team in the nation as well. But we are in a day and age where there is a great deal of parity. Clearly Morton the team to beat in the conference, but that's not to say that they can't be beaten. First free throw is up and good.
You know, there's a lot of different things that go into an upset. You know, it's just some nights you're hot, some nights they're cold. There's just a lot of different ways it can happen.
But matchups are so relevant.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be very much the case in football, but especially true in basketball.
Can't do that, though. Can't turn the ball over.
Good ball movement. We will see quite a bit of that tonight. Foul. Nope. Whistle is
Got her for a walk there.
Picked up the pivot foot as she tried to go baseline. And East Peoria will inbound at the Morton end. And it goes to Gablehausen. And it is a 5-0 Potter lead. 3-point shot and a couple of free throws.
Got to get that ball to Kylie Gablehausen's hands just a little earlier and get her involved. coming off screens like that.
Nicely done. 3 ball is good.
Oof. Sarah Kurth could have had that steal right there. Just a little off.
Knocked away. Montgomery almost came up with a loose ball on that.
Just a little off there, but an offensive rebound.
Underneath.
Nice
Too
job.
far under. Livingston unable to connect. And East Peoria looking to tie things up. Big pass
Nice
up ahead.
pass.
That is a nice pass. Look to be up to Reedy.
They're going to get that back.
But East Peoria will maintain possession underneath their own hoop.
I think Michaela Reedy might just be a little overjazzed right now.
She's had a little extra oomph on a couple of.
Yeah, she has. Ooh, nice job by Courtney Podek to put that ball on the floor.
Senior
Great
to senior.
job by Nicole Montgomery to use her body and get some separation.
And
That was a great job by Nicole. Just kind of put that shoulder down, a little separation, but not enough for the charge. Can't leave Chandler Ryan open, though.
Top of the backboard, though. Potters looking a little bit disconnected here on this offensive turn. 3 shots, though, on their end. 3 are off, and a foul on Livingston. Rare for her to not quite be in position there, but it is a 5-5 game. Foul is on Sarah Livingston, her first of the game. 2 on the Potters, and East Peoria with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter. They're looking to take the lead. They're on a 5-0 run of their own.
Really good job here by the Raiders to answer that run to open the game. You know, we talk about that all the time. You can either let it get out of hand or answer it, and they've done a nice job right here, get back to even.
And you know their goal at Morton will be to keep you from scoring as
absolutely.
often as possible.
And it's patience here. You know, you can't just fire up a bad shot to fire up a shot, which I'm a little concerned with Michaela Reedy right now because she's put up 4 of them already. Nice job by Kylie Gablehauser.
Wow, Gablehauser with a huge block.
Boy, she has really gotten adept at shot blocking.
Lead up to Potendijk. Under 4 minutes to go. She'll go ahead and take it off the top of the glass. It falls through. And Courtney
I have seen a
Potendijk.
lot of things. I have watched a lot of basketball, but I have never seen a bank shot like that in my life.
It is 7-5 East Peoria. Good ball movement gets the open 3, and that is just off. Potters are just a little off themselves.
Got to pull it out here. You know, if I'm Jay Bowman, I'm all right with, wow. I'm all right with that, that's for sure. But I'm all right with this game being in the 30s.
She's
if I can match it
right
possession
now,
for possession.
When you have Kylie Giebelhausen feeling comfortable out there.
You know, Kylie hasn't really had a game where she's just gone off yet this year, and I think that's due.
Montgomery in the right spot at the right time. Giebelhausen bring it down.
Nice job to
up
stop
to Reedy.
there.
Back to Giebelhausen. The Raiders look to reset.
Nice
Montgomery
look by the
paint.
cutter. I wish
Nicely
Pete would
done.
have kept going there through the lane.
Reedy will take it herself. That rattles all the way
Nice
around.
job by
Doesn't go
Nicole
in.
Montgomery.
Underneath, couldn't quite get it to go, and the Potters come away with it. Good possession for East Peoria. Couple of shots. Morton has seen enough. They're going to take a timeout. It is 10-5 East Peoria, leading the number 6 team in the state with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left to go. And in honor of the last game, I have a random basketball fact. This does not have anything to do with removing a president from the bathtub, but it does have to do with basketball.
Although that was tremendous.
In our ever-ending theme of why can't teams score points this year, the lowest scoring NBA game before the shot clock, NBA shot clock went in 1954 as a side note, Fort Wayne Pistons versus Minneapolis back in 1950. Final score, 19-18.
And I believe that was one of those games that brought about the shot clock.
We have seen enough.
If I recall right, I think they just sat on George Mikan the whole game and wouldn't let him catch the ball.
After the shot clock's low score, 62-57 as a side note, which is still not very exciting.
Morton being a little careless with the ball right now. That's the 3rd turnover the first quarter.
Uncharacteristic errors.
Yeah, and again, that's what we talked about. You know, it's just got to be somebody's a little hot, somebody's a little cold. Great job by Michaela Reedy.
When Reedy went up and got that, I was concerned it might be a turnover, but Reedy got it.
Unfortunately, Michaela is 0 for 6 from the floor right now. Really struggling to put the ball in the hole.
Kind of like her determination, though. She does not have a hesitation of, you see some kids get a couple of shots that don't fall and they're hesitant to let it fly again. And you need that mentality, almost like a relief pitcher in baseball.
That's a nice job by Morton to realize that they're
goes
doubling
baseline,
Sarah
inside
Livingston
out,
in that post.
ball off.
Another great block by Kylie
Gabelhausen.
Wow.
With another stuff. They'll come down the Raider way, trying to get underneath the Montgomery. Ball hits the end line and it will go back to Morton. Both teams struggling to hang on to the basketball, but has been East Peoria able to take advantage with Kylie Gabelhausen 6 points and lead this one 10-5. Byrne.
Sierra Montgomery's doing a great job on Sarah Livingston right now. Just a great job. They're fronting Livingston every chance they get, and Sierra's doing a great job of keeping her from getting the ball.
Almost came up with that.
Almost came up with the rebound there.
Good inbound play. Up off the glass basket is good for Warham. Jadison Warham. Little things you take for granted. Inbounds plays. Running the basics.
Nice job by Allie Watson. Shot fake there.
Just went down. Little contact there. But the
Potters
come away with it. Coast to coast whistle. Basket. We will wait and see if that's going to count or not.
Wow, they're going to count that.
Kate Byrne with the drive. Foul.
Fouls on 24. Sierra Montgomery gets her first, team third.
We're starting to see continuation now in this game, and I really don't like it. I think that's one of the...
That was much confusion because he signaled one shot.
He did, and he counted that basket.
The 10 players out on the court thought what we thought, which was
there's no way
foul
that basket
happened
should have
before
counted.
the shot. So now clarification and a break in the action as we powwow to see what to do about that. It's a missed free throw. They've already counted the basket, so now what do you do?
That ball's got to go to EP.
Alternating possessions. Ball will go to East Peoria in theory.
Boy, this is just bad refereeing.
Now we're getting the explanation to Coach Becker.
It's a pretty good crew with Phil Higgins at the top. I'm not familiar with the gentleman who made the call there. But all I know is you get fouled at the volleyball end line and keep going to the hoop. Unless you're in the air, that ball shouldn't count.
So ultimately, the basket counts. The free throw is off. No one went for the rebound, and so we go to an alternating type possession, and East Peoria, since the arrow pointed towards them, gets the basketball. Raiders give it up, and this is where Morton excels, forcing those turnovers. And part of it is just that defense where you shoot higher percentage shots because you can't get it inside. Part of it is just you don't get a shot off.
Yeah, exactly. And that can lead to some frustration, a little hurrying, trying to get that shot off, looking for just the tiniest window to squeeze off a rapid shot.
Chandler Ryan's first free throw is good.
She is picking up right where her sister Keegan left off before heading off to play golf in college.
Second free throw long, so we remain tied with under a minute to go. See if the Raiders pull it out here and run a little bit of clock. We're down to 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Do. I think you got to go. The confidence boost you get with going in tied here, that's a kick. But the confidence boost these girls will gain going in tied into the second quarter, I think, is immeasurable. You can't go down here and let them get in on a 7-0 run.
Right. It has been a game of streaks. Boy, that's a great opportunity underneath, and I think that's going to be a foul.
Not good. They're going to get Sierra Montgomery for that foul. And I don't agree with that at all.
So 30 seconds for the Potters to work with here. They won't require 30 seconds. They will require about 3 to get a 3-point shot off. We'll come back the other way.
Chandler Ryan's missed her last 4 3-pointers.
That's a 3-ball.
Nice job by Kylie Gablehausen to knock that down. That's a nice confidence boost. You got to get a stop here, though.
If you're looking for a game for her to explode, this is a good one for it to happen. That's
going to be 3 on Sierra Montgomery already.
Couldn't get her out quickly enough. You could see Jay Bowman trying to make the substitution and no stoppage in play between the time she got 2 and now the time she got 3. That defensive presence will be missed.
Yeah, she was doing a really nice job fronting the post on Livingston.
And a missed layup again for the Potters. And East Peoria, at the end of 1 period, lead the Morton Potters 13-10. This is the Kylie Gablehausen show to this point as far as the Raider offense. 3 3-pointers is what I got her for.
Yeah, she does have 9 points. Morton just 3 of 16 from the field in that first quarter, including 1 for 6 on threes.
Yeah, Chandler Ryan hit that first one and has not made one since.
No, Chandler Ryan did hit that first one and hasn't gone down since. East Peoria, on the other hand, is currently 5 for 16 itself. So not a great shooting night by any measure on either side, but right now the Raiders are on the right side of it, and they are 3 for 3 on threes, all of those by Kylie Gablehausen, which accounts for their current lead.
Quite a discussion between the Potter coaching staff and the official during that timeout. Not sure what the clarification was sought, but conversation was animated, we'll say that. 13-10 Raider lead. We will kick things off here in quarter number 2. Stick around at halftime. We will bring you the ceremony that honored the Raider seniors. Both Raider seniors honored tonight with a nice little ceremony. We'll bring that to you at halftime.
Boy, Morton's doing a nice job of moving around against that 1-2-2. And Allie Watson, that's unfortunate. That's not Allie's fault. That's just ball movement. And that's the whole point against the zone.
This is where Morton, just that depth and that ability to just plug new guys in or new girls in is so much to their advantage. The 3-ball by Savannah Rhodes, her first shot of the ball game.
Nice job by Kylie Gablehausen to get that.
And the Potters running, trying to get it up ahead.
Nice job by Allie Watson to sneak in there.
One dribble too much. Maddie Kraft trying to get it up to Livingston, and miscommunication on the Raider end. Looking to stay aggressive, just not quite on the same page there. It is 13-13. This is going to be interesting. These teams have just laid it all out.
Oh, wow. That was ticky-tack. Kylie just made a play for the ball, and they whistled her for a reach. And that is 2, and she's going to be lost to the bench. Probably for the rest of the half. Raiders really struggling at this point with fouls, and I got to tell you, it's been physical at both ends. And
Reedy come back in at that?
Yeah, Reedy came back in for Gablehausen on that one.
Thought that, but I needed the confirmation. 13-13, travel call.
Boy, I didn't see a travel there either. This crew is not off to a strong start.
2-point shot up and long. Jacobs was really in the right spot.
Nice job by J.C. Staley.
Staley, yep.
Just want to see a little better finish at the rim there. And the Raiders have to stop the ball on the penetration. Must stop the ball.
Knocked it away. Montgomery getting some pressure. Potters really picking up that pressure now in the backcourt. We're
Now,
getting close to
where's
a
the foul there?
count.
Kyla
There's a lot
Gablehausen
of
reaches
contact.
once.
That's going to be on East Peoria. I bet you a soda pop. Just see, that's the way it's going right now. There were 3 different potential areas of contact there, and the last one, sometimes it's like a fight. The last one gets the call.
That's 2 on Reedy. I don't know if Jay's going to pull her or not.
Puts him in the bonus. Free throw rattles off. All East Peoria there for that rebound. The East Peoria gets it across half
Foul
court.
right
More
there.
contact. And timeout East Peoria.
Timeout, East Peoria.
13-13, 5:54 left to go in the half, and an interesting ball game. Very competitive, hard fought, a lot of turnovers. Points have been at a premium to this point. More conversation between Morton and
I don't
the
know what they
officials.
could possibly want. They've only had 2 fouls called on them. It's a good timeout by Jay Bowman. Gets them settled down, come up with a little better plan of attack to attack that 2-2-1 press.
Well, it certainly is forced with the foul situation. Other Lady Raiders to step into different positions and try to keep things moving offensively. Great pass up ahead, almost a pick there, but threads the needle.
And the unfortunate part is now anytime you see one of those, you hear Jay Bowman and his bench yelling, "Don't foul, don't foul," and effectively you're telling them to
You
play
gotta give it
soft,
to
and
them,
there's nothing you can do at this point.
Big drive. Reach in foul on the Potters. Rhodes, I want to say, but I'm not going to guess.
That's her first, team third.
3 ball up and long. Rebound East Peoria. Contact here. Jump ball the call. EP will retain possession underneath their own hoop. It's 15-13 in favor of Morton. 5:15. First quarter zipped right along. Second quarter has
Nice
not.
take by Allie Watson.
Nice drive. Contact. Livingston
knocked
almost
down, no
stepped
call.
over. Ooh, nice job. Potendijk up high for the board. That sounds cliche, but do you not get some calls, the benefit of the doubt, if you're a Division I recruit?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Raiders looking to jump back in. A little too long of a pass there. Here is Byrne. Layup is good.
8 turnovers for the Raiders right now. 4. They only had 4 the entire first quarter. They've already got 4 only halfway through the second quarter. And this is where Morton's going to get us. They're running 5 in right now to the scorers table.
Yeah, you don't see this hardly ever.
Nice move by Nicole
Nice
Montgomery.
drive from Nicole
What a
Montgomery.
great move.
And the senior on senior night has 4 points and gets her team back within a possession. Livingston inside, up against really a double team, and she lays it up off the glass. Hard to stop that.
Nice job by J.C. Staley. She wasn't even late on the double team there. Just nothing she could do. Sarah just jumped right up and over.
Fouls on 24, 5. That's her first, team fourth. Line change for the Potters.
Line change is about right. Is that the first basket you have for Sarah Livingston?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That is her first points. Only 3 shots for her tonight.
So the Raiders have done a nice job plugging up the inside.
Nice look across the zone there.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's been in the right spot a couple of times. Look at her battle inside.
Great job by her to get her own board.
Nicole Montgomery again, 19-17.
That's 6 for Nicole, and she also has 5 rebounds so far.
Wow. Great first half.
Nice job by Sarah Kurth.
Wow, just a great pick.
That is Morton's first turnover of the quarter and only the 4th of the game. So they had 3 early on, haven't had one since up until that point.
Boy, that lane opened up and she tried to take it. For as many calls as we've had, this is still a physical ball game.
Well, that's the 3rd time Allie Watson's hit the floor and the 3rd time the whistle hasn't blown. This is really, you know, my teaching partner, Pete McGinnis, longtime official at every sport. That's huge by Courtney Potendijk. I told her to do that tonight.
Well, it's great to see the seniors stepping it up tonight, making the significant contributions that they have. It is 21-20. Chandler Ryan is really trying for that.
Yeah, she wants the 4-point play pretty bad.
Play. And Nicole Montgomery with a chance with 2:24 left to go in the half to tie things up. That one is up and long.
Foul's starting to even out a little bit at least. Turner McPhee into the game now.
Second free throw is up and rattles out. A nice opportunity for East Peoria to take the lead there, but couldn't quite get the free throws down. So with 2:12 to go in the half, the Potters with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Baseline drive up, off the glass and in. Kate, nope. So East Peoria back. 3-ball will tie
nice
it up.
Nice job
here
by Allie Watson there.
And a nice drive up off glass.
Oh.
That one couldn't fall in. That hoop has not been friendly all year at that end. Potters come away from the scrum with the basketball. Up, down, up, blocked.
Great block.
By
Great block. Really strong job by Courtney in the post. That's an area where she's really improved this year.
I believe off of Bella Jackson, number 33 from Morton. East Peoria nonetheless will retain the ball now, get the ball back as across half court we come. Minute 30 left to go in the half.
Boy, the Potters, they just do not slow down. Chandler Ryan had that ball and was off like a shot.
Continue to look for that open shot. Rebound long.
Turner McPhee's got to go up for that rebound.
Working that perimeter. Busy hands up in the air, hit the end line. Ball back to the Raiders. 58.8. We have not seen anybody slow it down, so you expect East Peoria to take the open shot should they get it.
Jay Bowman just yelled, take your time, make it a good one here. The unfortunate part is really only got one shooter on the floor, and Sarah Kurth. Kyla Gablehausen, normally the other pretty good option.
Drive down the lane, batted away. Good defensive play by Ryan.
Ooh,
And
nice job by Sarah Kurth.
Play at the other end.
That's unfortunate.
Ball on the ground.
Turner McPhee had that.
Montgomery coming, jump ball.
Nice job by Nicole Montgomery to tie that up with an even 30 seconds to go
Was
here.
concerned based on just her position that they would get her for an over the back. But it was not any contact. It was a clean jump ball. And Morton, with 30 seconds exactly left to play in the half, will try to extend this 3-point lead. Raiders held to just 7 points here in the second quarter. 2-ball up good by Heisler. Emma Heisler with 4 points now for the Lady Potters.
That's got to be a foul right there.
Montgomery,
nice
little
look.
inside out to Potendijk. 3-ball up just a little bit off. Another 3-ball up, and that does not go. So we will come to halftime. The Raiders very much in this one, 25-20. We are going to take a short break, and after the break, stick around because the ceremony honoring tonight's seniors will be brought to you here on Eastside Community Television Cable Channel 22, along with the second half. Thanks for tuning in.
Representing the EPCHS girls basketball team is Courtney Buckendike. Courtney has played basketball all 4 years at EPCHS, starting both her junior and senior seasons. In preparation for basketball season, Courtney dedicated her summers to playing AAU basketball. This school year, Courtney participated in the co-op program, working as an intern at Gold Fine and Bowls. Courtney plans to attend ICC after graduation, hoping to major in physical therapy. Ladies and gentlemen, Courtney Buckendike. The next and final Lady Raider is Nicole Montgomery. Nicole has been a 4-year basketball player at EPCHS. Nicole has also participated in softball, where she was second team All-Mid-Atlantic Conference as a junior. Nicole also played tennis for EPCHS, where she and teammate Jessica Smith advanced to the IHSA state competition in 2011 and 2012 in doubles. In addition, Nicole has been an active member of both Latin Club and Link Crew. Nicole will go on to play softball at ICC, where she will major in radiology. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Montgomery. Let's give one last round of applause to these two young ladies for their time, effort, and the way they have represented East Peoria Community High School.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
And welcome back to Lady Raider basketball. Welcome back, everybody. 2 minutes or so before the start of the second half. The Morton Potters, the number 6 team in the state, the 13-0 in the Mid-Atlantic Conference Lady Potters, ahead of East Peoria, just 25-20. The Raiders actually led at the end of the first quarter, and then a bit of a slowdown in the second quarter offensively, in which the Potters outscored East Peoria 15-7, and they have been able to lay claim to a slim 5-point lead. Very even battle. It's been both teams really struggling with turnovers, with finding shots to fall, with shooting free throws. It's been both teams have struggled with basically the same thing.
Yeah, you know, Morton 10 for 30 from the fourth, 2 for 9 from three-point range, 16 total rebounds. East Peoria 8 of 31 from the floor, 4 of 8 from the line, 0 for 2 on threes, or pardon me, 4 of 8 from the free throw or from three-point land, 0 of 2 from the free throw line. So a lot of similar numbers there as we head into the second half.
You know, now we've talked a lot about where has the offense gone, but then, you know, you take this even to the college level, and you have one of the better teams in college basketball, in theory, Kansas Jayhawks, putting up 13 points in an entire half.
Yeah.
Which led Bill Self to compare that performance to the James Naismith days,
which I thought was just hilarious.
The local YMCA. But it is such a defensive-minded game today that you just see that. We've seen it from Bradley. We've seen it from ISU, where you just can't score.
And that is true. And you know, it's bigger, faster, stronger. You know, No longer is enough to run a good set. You've still got to have the athletic ability to get by a guy or a girl, as it were.
Right.
Nice save by Sarah Kurth. Even better save by Michaela Reed there to keep from stepping out.
Reedy inside to
nice
Montgomery.
kick out.
Inside out. Yeah, nice good ball movement.
Oof.
Drive
little
flip.
runner there. Nice job by Sarah Kurth.
Good indeed. Sarah Kurth looking good on that.
Nice little runner there. Nice look by Sarah Livingston. I think she's realized she's going to have to be a distributor.
Much more aggressive, just, coming out of the box here for the halftime.
Oh, gotta have that rebound, though. Oh.
Putback is up and good by Abby Cox.
Have to come down with that rebound. Imperative.
Giebelhausen back in for the Raiders.
Nice cut by Michaela Reedy. Boy, I'd like to see her step into the left there.
Looking for help. Kurth gives it up to Giebelhausen. She'll go to the left hand, top of the key, now free throw line. Extended 3-ball up. Don't know if that hit anything. 3-ball was up and off, though. And Morton will come back with it. Starting to get into an area of being a slippery slope here now. 27, 22, every possession very valuable.
Yeah, because Morton's not going to give you much more than about 35 or 40. And they'd probably like to keep you closer to 30.
Livingston drawing 3 white jerseys, and that's the problem. If they can hit them,
boy,
they'll have some perimeter shots.
These first 2 possessions by Morton have just been really nice.
2-ball up and long. Montgomery.
Nice job by Nicole Montgomery to run that down.
To Potendijk. Very physical ball game. A lot of contact right there on that drive. Kate Byrne draws the foul, or commits the foul. And that will send Michaela Reedy to the free throw line.
Michaela 0 for 7 from the field tonight, 0 for 6 on 2-point baskets, and 0 for 1, but knocks it down there. She doesn't look like she's questioning her confidence at all.
No, not at all. She's not been flustered at all. Yeah, absolutely. You got to like that about a shooter's willingness to go back to the well repeatedly. Both free throws swish through.
Now you got to get a stop right here, come back down, get another bucket.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing wrong if you're East Peoria getting a couple points on the board with the clock stopped.
That's key as well.
I don't know if Chandler Ryan has struggled from 3-point range this much in quite some time. She made her first 3-pointer, and I believe she's missed a half dozen in a row.
1, 2, 3. Yep, that is 7. Baker's half dozen.
Morton continue that ball movement, looking for the open shot. Still
nice job
not
by Sarah
falling.
To keep that ball alive.
And Giebelhausen had it underneath with contact, lost it underneath, and Morton resets. They'll get the ball back under their own hoop.
Gotta watch a step in right here by Livingston, or screening for Schultz out. Yep. Did a nice job. Didn't allow a bucket off the inbounds. That's always a good thing. Now you got to get another stop.
Yeah, we talked about this also.
I think there's a little confusion on the Raiders' defensive end right now, though, because it looks like they're in a 1-4 zone. Somebody's got to come up and play
that
top
out of bounds.
Spot.
We talked about the inbounds pass to the Illinois game. Boy, what kind of breakdown that was, but you assume you're going to have a contested shot to conclude a ball game like that, but that was not the case.
I couldn't believe that, but that kind of goes with what people, wow, that was almost a 5 count, with what people have been thinking with Illinois all year, which is they're going to shoot from the perimeter, and to get that roll.
There's Ryan with a 2-ball. I continue to contend, though, that in those situations, it's not unlike the guy that drops a ball in the playoffs that, or runs the wrong pattern. That pressure at that moment on that road.
Oh, absolutely.
One slight mental lapse, and that doesn't normally happen, but I think the pressure is just so great. Televised game. Livingston at the other end with the drive, and it goes down. Looked like it was going to rattle out. And it's
only her second basket of the night. This one's in danger of getting out of hand, though. If that gets to double digits, it's going to be awful hard to come back.
Contact, and that's what you like to see. Gablehausen going to the free throw line, and that should be interesting because that is Kate Burns' third foul. We'll see if Coach Becker makes the change. He will. Emma Heisler will come in along with Ashley Giles.
Raiders need to be aggressive here and get this ball to the hoop. Like you said, scoring points, clock stop. That's a nice, quick way to climb back into things.
Second one rattles out.
Rattled out.
Potter's on a pretty good run here since the end of that first quarter. They've bumped it up to an 8-point lead here as we approach the halfway point of quarter number 3. Livingston, independence pass. Abby Cox, number 24. Jay Bowman wants a break. And we have the largest lead of the ball game, 35-25.
That's a good timeout by Jay. You don't want it to get out of hand. You know, you got to tell the girls, hey, you got to value possessions here. You're looking for stops on the defensive end. And just bit by bit, you got to climb back into this thing. You're not going to make it all up at once. There's no rush. Still 12 minutes of clock left. That's a long time.
And I think mentally they know that they can play with Morton because they did last time. They got so far behind in their, that defense really hurt. They couldn't come up with points in the first quarter is what I'm trying to spit out. And playing catch up from that point on, they played with them for 3 quarters.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is by no means out of reach. It's going to take some patience and some focus.
Back underway, under 4 minutes to go. Gablehausen takes it to the floor, inside out
Nice
to
look.
Montgomery. 3 ball up and short.
Nice job by Kylie to try to get in there, just couldn't quite grab the board.
This is where the rebounds start to catch up too. You want more than one shot. Livingston spin, up, good.
Looked like her brother right there. I was just counting that the other day. Sean has been in the NBA almost a decade now. It's incredible. Nice job by Sarah.
Sarah Cruz going here.
She's got 5 here in the early stage of the second half. She's going to have to score a little bit more.
3 ball up and long. Reedy up high for the rebound. Up to Montgomery. Oh, just a little too far under the hoop. Livingston with the board at the other end. She may try to go coast to coast herself. She will, and she's too far under the board. That will go back to East
Peoria. Come back this way, too. That's huge.
24, Sierra Montgomery returns for East Peoria.
It is, I believe, no small coincidence that we have said the name Sarah Livingston more without Sierra Montgomery out on the basketball floor.
Absolutely. And here she comes back in. She did a great job of fronting Sarah. I just hope playing with 2 or 3 fouls isn't going to make her careful. But the only thing I can say for Sierra is maybe not quite as aggressive on the. Oh, goodness gracious. I think they had to call that, but I'm pretty sure that was
that's
clean.
15 yards. I think that was a clip against the defense.
That's awfully intimidating. You go up and she just takes it with 2 hands. Goodness.
You know, we've talked about kids not having a routine. She's got a routine. She's a
does.
good free throw shooter, typically.
She does.
You wonder how tired the legs are at this point in the ball game, and the Potters just a little more depth.
Well, and what depth the Raiders do have has been inhibited by the foul trouble, and
right.
You know, I'm not even sure we're going to see J.C. Staley. When she came out that first time, she looked like she was rubbing something, some kind of pain stick or something, maybe Ben Gay or something on her shin, so she might be battling a case of the shin splints as well.
You know, it's never good when the ball goes out of bounds and the 2 officials closest to it pause for about 6 seconds to think, well, what did you see? And
yeah,
the Potters will retain possession.
Not a proud moment in officiating. You know, I was talking there. We got cut off towards the end of the first half as the action heated up a little bit. But my teaching partner, Pete McGinnis, who's been around forever, there's a nice little jumper by Livingston. You know, he's remarked himself that the quality of official we're getting, you know, the old guys are starting to fade a little bit, and there's not any new blood to replace them, and the new blood there is there to replace them just isn't very good. So it could be a long few years in the grand scheme of officiating in the Peoria area.
I think to be fair as well, obviously there's a 3 ball, as we've talked about. Ryan struggling. There's one
She's got 7
down.
in the second half here. She's been a big part of this push.
As Montgomery. And East Peoria will take a timeout. But we've talked about the players getting better and better and better, and I think that's a high bar to maintain in a field in which basically you get screamed at.
Yeah.
You have coaches continually trying to intimidate or make you aware or plant a bug in your ear about something to watch, and you know, you try to tune that out, but you're still human and you still hear some of the comments.
But at the same time, with the way this game's been physical, you can't tell me there have been just 3 fouls in this quarter.
No, and but it's just this whole conversation with the Morton bench has been odd. It's just you don't see that a lot, but they have maintained constant, I guess you could say constant communication,
yeah.
But they have certainly had something to say at 3 different timeouts. Now, just for clarification, it isn't Coach Becker. He is obviously running the timeout with his team, so that's where you rely on your other coaches. But Raiders just starting to fade a little bit offensively here. It's a 44-28 ball game, and they are able with the 3 ball certainly to climb back into this one. They just need some defensive stops because there's a great drive.
Nice job by Allie Watson to get to the rim there.
By Allie Watson.
Kind of an awkward finish with the right hand, the near hand there, but still not bad.
She's been willing a couple of times to
nice job by Kylie Gablehausen
to put it down in amongst the taller players there. And this is where you struggle to know what to do as far as who stays and who comes out. That's 3 now on Giebelhausen. So Jay Moen with some decisions here for the last 8 minutes of basketball. Only 57 seconds left in this quarter. Livingston with 1 more. And she makes that one. She's up in double digits herself now. And it is just like that, a 16-point Morton lead. Giebelhausen a little bit too far as telegraphing that pass. Giebelhausen with the nice block as Ryan tries to lay it in. And the Potters reset. Livingston out to the top of the key. And speaking of being willing to put it back up,
I think Shannon Ryan took offense to saying she'd gone cold.
So. Yeah. Well, she
definitely
comes up with that pick, and she will go coast to coast.
Wow.
That's a tremendous play.
Wow.
Draws the foul. No question about that.
That's
and
11 points in the quarter for her.
Trying to complete a 3-point play here. (51-30). Potters extending this lead. 27 seconds left to go in the quarter. Trying to complete the 3-point play, up and rattles out. But oh man, Ashley Gillis up high for the rebound, and she will go to the free throw line amongst 3 Raiders, but 1 does not get up. An injury on the floor. As Coach Bowman and training unit coming out to assess.
That might be Michaela Reedy.
And I didn't see who even went down, but I believe that you are correct based on looking around. Was it the Canton game? Canton-Morton, where the rough injury right above the eye. Had to quite a bit of delay in that, a lot of bleeding. obviously anything in the head coach Vershaw bringing the troops over as you see the assessment of the injury. 25.6 left to go. Never like to see that. It's been
Boy, they're checking. Can't tell if they're checking ankle or knee. Either way, that's not good with postseason starting on Monday.
It's been physical. You have so many people going up and coming down about the same time. It's a little bit surprising as she is unfortunately unable to get off the floor on her own. It's surprising to me that we don't see more rolled ankles and more injuries like that, hyperextensions. Wrapping up the season, you got the postseason coming up in just a couple days.
We'll see what Sarah Silver goes to work on over there.
Right ankle.
Looking like it's going to be the right ankle.
Free throw number 1 is not good. She's got one more. Gillis. As bad as the first one looked, that one looked that good. And it's 52-30. Morton.
Boy, and that was a perfect example right there of the many ways that Morton can frustrate you. You know, J.C. Staley catches that ball on the wing, looking to do the right thing and pass it, and Byrne was just so long and lanky that she had no play to make but to pass it back out to the top. And that's going to be Sierra Montgomery's
And we're going to get a baseline foul with just 3.6 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
Foul on the 24, Sierra Montgomery, that's her fourth. Team fourth.
So, a lot of different inbounds plays that you work on in practice. This is the one where you got to shoot it pretty quick.
See somebody dive into the rim right here.
3.6, Livingston knocked away.
Nice job by Kylie Gablehausen.
By Gablehausen. She'll launch a three-quarter court shot, and it bounces into row 4. But that was a good-looking three-quarter court shot. Would not have counted, but she continues to find ways to just do good things out on the basketball court. Another big block. And the Raiders have continued to struggle offensively here, and we're down 52-30 now with 8 minutes of basketball left.
Kylie only with 1 point since the first quarter, so they've done a nice job there, but 10 points. I've got her for 4 rebounds and 4 blocks, so she's having another night on the stat sheet. Should be noted there as part of that big spurt in the quarter there, that 27 to 10 spurt. Chandler Ryan had 11 points. Sarah Livingston had 8 points. So pretty difficult to overcome that.
I've got 42-17. The Morton has outscored East Peoria since the end of that first quarter. It has been gradual. They have not gone on a 15-point run, but they have steadily clamped down defensively and gotten some shots to fall that were certainly not falling in the first half of the ball game. Nicole Montgomery inbounding to Gablehausen to start the fourth and final quarter from Allison Gymnasium here on senior night. Raiders working that perimeter.
Nice pass by J.C. Staley. I actually like that as a lead pass. Nice look for Courtney Potendijk.
Potendijk, 3 ball is off. And Byrne comes back the other way for Morton.
Wow.
And she will take it coast to coast.
Boy, that's just...
Well, you don't know what to do defensively. When you're in foul trouble, you can stand straight. I mean, it was as stationary and as tough as defense as you can play, but you can't be overly aggressive without ending up with 4 players dressed out there. So
they've got Michaela Reedy's right shoe off, and they've got ice already on that ankle. That doesn't bode well for the postseason starting on Monday.
That pretty well ends her night, I think.
Wow.
Back in the day, they would always say once you take that shoe off, you're done. That swelling will start up once the pressure from that shoe is gone.
Number 5, Allie Watson checks in for the Raiders.
56-30, Morton out on top of East Peoria here with 6:51 left to go. Three ball is a little short. Ball on the inbound and a push on Abby Cox, I believe.
Nice job by Allie Watson there.
Fouls on 24, Cox. It's her second, team fourth.
Nicole Montgomery underneath her own basket. That will be a three ball just off. Byrne again with the rebound. And the Potters starting to put some points up here.
Boy,
58-30.
Sarah's got to shoot that.
Yeah, Potendijk though with a good look. That one doesn't go down. Livingston with the rebound.
This has turned into a pickup game all of a sudden.
Livingston back inside again. There is a foul. Yeah, that's be Kurth in theory.
Fouls on 15, Sarah Kurth. It's her first, team fifth.
Livingston's first one up and good. A trio of Potters back into the ball game for Morton. Raider student section. Trying to throw off Livingston, but she makes good on both free throws.
Boy, doubled up here. This is...
Yeah, 60-30, just like that. Doesn't seem like it happened that quickly, but it is there. A 30-point lead. Drive down the lane, and Allie Watson.
Boy, Allie Watson is just fearless. If she was 2 inches taller, she'd be...
Fearless is a good word. That's a good description. She has no fear of going in among a lot taller players and drawing contact. And those types of players are rare. First free throw is good.
Good news is we picked up 3 fouls on Livingston. Maybe we can go right at her.
Absolutely.
Not sure how much longer she'll be in the game, but while she's in there, they take her right at her.
(60-32), 5.5 minutes left to go.
I will say this, kudos to Kylie Gablehausen for playing this long with 3 fouls. That's tough to do.
I don't know if I've seen that either, throwing it off the opposition to not have an over and back call.
Yeah, that was
a couple of unique things happening tonight.
You know, I've watched this for a long time, and every time I think I've seen it all, you get a bank shot like Tony Potendijk's or something like that.
That was not touched. Although Coach Becker...
They're going to talk this one over.
Thought perhaps there was some contact, and now...
44 in the lane, checks in for the Potters.
I missed. Absolutely missed.
I think they're saying East Peoria touched that ball, and I think they might have. It was a little hard to tell who had that contact. And there I go, jinxing Kylie Gablehausen about playing that long with 3 fouls.
Fouls on number 3, Gablehausen.
My apologies to her for putting the curse on her.
Well, it's tough. You just want consistency, and you know go from a lot of contact, and that was not a lot of contact. So,
boy, that was a reach right there on her too. She's got to be a little more careful there. I know it's frustrating. I know it's been a long night.
Montgomery with a pick, could have been a jump ball. Gablehausen will come back the other direction. She'll take it coast to coast, layup off and long. And Morton will come away with the basketball, up 60-32 as we're halfway through this fourth and final quarter. Shot in the paint, up and off. And Gablehausen and the Lady Raiders come away with it. Montgomery with the lead pass from Gablehausen. And she draws the foul. Emily Schultz, I believe, will be whistled for the foul.
That was a really tough catch by Nicole Montgomery to come down with that ball. That was really nice fly pattern there, as it were.
2 shots from Montgomery.
Those are her first points of the second half right there.
After a really strong first half.
Yeah, she had a really nice first half. 6 points, 5 boards. 6 boards, I'm sorry.
Second free throw is off, but a huge rebound by Gablehausen. Back to Montgomery, and it's good. So the Raiders with a nice little run here, 60-35. This is Maddie Kraft at number 2. Rhodes is number 11.
Nice
Savannah
trap
Rhodes.
by Nicole Montgomery. Wow, I didn't see anybody get a hand on that. And again, there's that consistency. You know, you're just obviously we're not on that side of the court, can't really see what happened, but I didn't see Kylie or Nicole reach for that ball.
This is Dow, Tatum Dow. Goes to the left hand, knocked away. Ball still on the floor. Gablehausen comes away
Nice
with it.
Nice floor awareness by Kylie to know where
nice pass.
Everybody was.
Montgomery with it.
Boy,
that is
just
just
on the floor.
sheer effort, giving that body up, keeping the ball alive. 3 ball up. Oh, that was
just
halfway through
nice
the
job
hoop
by Sarah.
and out. Gablehausen with another huge rebound. Drive down the lane, up and good. Allie Watson is fun to watch. 60-37.
Ooh, Courtney Potenbeck almost with a steal there. Courtney's trying like heck to get
She
that
is.
steal just a little.
They're close. 3 ball up and good. Tatum Dowell.
Number 3, Dowell.
It is 63-37. One of the great disadvantages of high school basketball is sometimes you hear more than you want to hear with live microphones.
Yeah. It's all right. They caught Joe Flacco at the Super Bowl. Can only imagine what happens here.
Yeah, absolutely. You would think, though, in the world that we live in, with cell phones running all the time, that people would be a little more self-conscious of.
Yeah.
But that would also assume social skills on the culture as a whole, and that's just silly. 63-37.
Nice job by J.C. Staley. Oh, good hustle. They just do not stop.
Bella Jackson.
I mean, it's just like an assembly line, isn't it?
The consistency is just that aggressive defensive play.
Yep.
And just
very
crisp
unselfish on the offensive
ball
end. That's been the most impressive thing to me is their willingness to make that extra pass and just find the open man. I mean, that's rare.
So a substitution here. Looked for a moment as if East Peoria is going to take a timeout.
Well, I think Jay did take the timeout just to get everybody in that he wanted in.
Sierra Montgomery.
I was off on Kylie Gablehausen's blocks, by the way. That's 8. She's going to finish the night with 8 blocks. Oh.
At the other end. Whatever program he has, we need that little fancy.
Maybe if Jeff would donate that program to the high school.
Contact. Good gravy.
Oh, boy.
Well, Maddie Kraft, 5'6" junior.
I gotta wonder if she's in relation to Mike Kraft. Former Morton standout pitcher, went on to play at the University of Illinois.
Steely's second
Sunday
foul.
morning league hitters.
It is 68-37. Both teams in the bonus. And we're down to our final minute of senior night. Knocked away, boy, they just stay aggressive. Both teams really not lacking for effort. I don't think I've ever seen that either.
The official taking a timeout to get
somebody in. That's a live play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you get everybody in. At this point.
We haven't played yet.
That's very true.
I forget what movie that's from. That may be Happy Gilmore. Hey, what about me? I haven't played yet.
I would need ER treatment after about 3 trips down the court.
Yeah. I'm going to need a lot of ice, an asthma inhaler.
Shoot, I went down the bleachers at the last game, about knocked the cheerleader off the bottom bleacher. Bouncing so high. It's 68.
Unfortunately, this is taking on the look of a freshman game.
Yeah, Montgomery at the Raider end up and off, gets her on rebound up and got that one.
24, Sierra Montgomery.
Well, foul trouble kept us from being able to call her name anymore tonight. That was unfortunate. 68-39.
Let's hear it one more time for tonight's Peoria seniors.
So, not the way the seniors wanted to finish senior night, but we still have some postseason opportunities. Peoria, Notre Dame, easy for me to say, coming into town here next week, and we'll be able to bring that to you as well. While we get our numbers together here, I want to thank our producer, Mark Glaswell, director, Dave Gibbons, Andrew Harvey running the audio, cameras are Daryl Dixon, Susan Dixon, Paul Cousins, and running the score, and CG is Dawn Anderson, and I'm unclear as to the note that was left for me other than that, but that's okay. Do you have any
we'll be back here tomorrow night.
We'll be back here tomorrow night for some boys action. So, we appreciate everybody tuning in. That's
on
about
a
it.
good note, before we leave, Michaela Reedy is able to put weight on her right foot now, so she is walking off the floor under her own power. Hopefully she's ready to go by Monday night. That's going to be a quick turnaround, though.
It is good to see her walking. The ice is on, and we'll hope for a speedy recovery there. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks to a fantastic crew, as always. Thanks for watching Lady Raider at Basketball on Eastside Community Television, Cable Channel 22.